Pauline Hanson is no stranger to being the media's favourite punching bag, so when she used her recent speech to the National Press Club to declare, "We are a multiracial society, but we must be monocultural. Australians must live under the one cultural umbrella," it drew the usual condemnation from the usual suspects. The Guardian declared, Pauline Hanson's speech shameful and echoed rubbish from right-wing figures in UK and US, critics say. SBS jumped in with, Paul Hogan hits back at Pelican Hanson over monoculture claim, with the Crocodile Dundee star dutifully delivering the approved narrative from his mansion in California. We're all migrants except the Aboriginals, who as far as we know have been in Australia for 60,000 years. And of course our ABC scoffed that Hanson spawned the silliest semantic beard-stroking in 20 years. Naturally, the ABC intellectualised it on their religion and ethics platform, claiming, "The current debate about multiculturalism is built on a false dichotomy, one that Australia has long since left behind." You can always trust our ABC to defend multiculturalism to the hilt, running headlines like, "It's who we are, Albanese issues impassioned defence of multiculturalism." Basically, according to all our morally superior media, multiculturalism is flawless, while monoculture sounds entirely racist. So you know the drill. To be a good little citizen, you need to shut up, enjoy your multicultural society, and definitely don't listen to Pauline Hanson. But of course, the ABC's new poster child got pulled into all this, Nestory Irankunda, a former refugee born in Tanzania who happened to score Australia's opening goal of the 2026 World Cup. Connor Metcalfe also scored a goal, but according to the ABC's ideological framing, you can safely ignore him. Commenting on the team, Senator Hanson stated, "The Socceroos, in fact, represent my vision of a monocultural Australia, people from different backgrounds and cultures and nations all wearing the green and gold and representing one nation under one flag and succeeding under the same set of rules." It sounds fair enough. But as some viewers pointed out, the ABC didn't take too kindly to the One Nation leader hijacking the Socceroos for her own monocultural agenda. They quickly fired back, running the headline, "Hanson's Socceroos' own goal should have been a free kick for Taylor," referring to opposition leader Angus Taylor. By using the sports term own goal, the ABC is clearly implying that Ms. Hanson made a massive blunder here. Naturally, the article opens by highlighting their chosen one, writing, "Millions of Australians watched World Cup debutant Nestory Irankunda drill the ball into the back of the net last week." But of course, as we've come to expect, there is absolutely no mention of Connor Metcalfe. To read the ABC's coverage, you'd think he wasn't even on the pitch, let alone playing a vital role in securing the exact same victory. They of course mention that Nestory was just a baby when he emigrated from Tanzania with his family, which is only about the 500th time the media has recycled that exact line. They frame it as though it were some monumental personal triumph, like baby Nestory was pulling himself up by his bootstraps and working hard to secure passage to Australia. Look, I'm not saying the family's journey was easy, but he was a literal infant who didn't exactly fill out his own visa paperwork. The only thing he filled was his nappies. As mentioned earlier, Irankunda is the ABC's new poster boy for multiculturalism, with the article breathlessly declaring his success to be one of the myriad ways that migration can enrich a society. But isn't this completely specious reasoning? Using Nestory as the ultimate proof for multiculturalism just because he kicked a synthetic leather ball into a net is a bizarre logical leap. By that exact same logic, couldn't someone argue that Connor Metcalfe, who also scored, is a shining validation of the old white Australia policy? It is the exact same ideological game. They are exploiting Nestory's background as a political weapon for multiculturalism, just as an extremist could exploit Connor's background to argue for a monoracial society. The reality is that through no fault of his own, Nestory Irankunda has been turned into a literal political football. They of course bring food into it, with the author smugly declaring, "It's the multicultural society that gets to enjoy the very best of other cultures and celebrate football players who migrate from abroad. You can't have your monoculture and eat your banh mi too." It is the ultimate progressive cliché. It implies that without a continuous flow of foreign migration, Australians would be utterly incapable of making foreign food. Apparently, the ABC has never heard of a magical invention called the internet, where anyone of any background can look up any recipe and learn to cook literally anything. But let's look at the underlying logic of their argument. If they are seriously implying that a person's ability to prepare a specific dish is entirely dependent on their ethnic background, then they are suggesting that culinary skill is somehow biologically hardwired. They are arguing that certain races are inherently born to create fried rice. And frankly, that is not just ridiculous, it is deeply condescending. Anyway, I got a bit off track there. To be clear, I certainly wasn't criticising foreign food, which would make family dinners incredibly awkward given my wife is Chinese, and nor was Pauline Hanson, to be fair. But if we are going to live together in a functioning society, surely there must be some foundational commonality that we all strive to achieve. If there isn't, then we aren't actually a nation at all. We may as well just be a random collection of strangers cohabitating the same piece of dirt.